Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. Today is Justice League physical Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, whatever you want. It is out right now in stores, so if you're a big fan of that movie, go and grab it. But a little bit more on that a little bit later. Just one little thing before I get into that is that Nicolas Cage Nicolas Cage is voicing Superman in the Teen Titans movie. Yeah, Nicolas Cage. Now, I was a huge fan of Nicolas Cage back in the day when they had The Rock, Con Air, Face Off. He was awesome. He was a great 90s action horror, up and coming, and then he just went, I just what happened to him, which what happened. But he was going to be Superman, and I remember that so well. I remember it so well. He was going to be Superman in Superman Lives, and ultimately that didn't happen. He was an up-and-coming superstar and just a lot of production stuff. But if you ever watch John Schnipp's documentary, The Death and what happened to the Superman Lives, I don't know, it's a huge long title, but if you look it up, it's a documentary about that and what happened to it. And the concepts in that thing was very interesting. Some of the sci-fi-ish type of movie. That would be really cool to see. But unfortunately for Nicolas Cage, who's a huge Superman fan, he's named his dog, I think his son too. I don't remember, but he's a huge Superman fan, and now he actually finally gets to play as Superman. Albeit he's only his voice, but that's starting something. And knowing the Teen Titans movie, it looks like it's going to be parodying a lot of different films, kind of like Batman, Lego Batman for say. He just kind of parodies all the other Batmans, so you can definitely see Teen Titans going to be parodying a lot of different DC extended universe movies, DC movies from the past, things like that. So I don't know, maybe we'll even talk about Superman Lives, but very interested to see how that turns out. That comes out this year in place of an untitled DC film that was supposed to be this year, but that didn't happen. All right, guys, so like I said earlier, the Justice League Blu-ray DVD has come out, and I've seen a very interesting article from Skylar Sneathen, and at Skylar Sneathen on Twitter. So this is his article on a website called bamsmackpow.com, fan-cited. Is it called Fansite or is BandSmackPow.com? I don't know. But on this article, it talks a little bit about the money part of it. And I'm really always interested in to see stuff like that. So Justice League is out on Blu-ray and DVD, but after mixed reviews, will it succeed in the open market? And we all know the history about what happened to the Snyder Cut and what happened to Snyder. But he did something very interesting. See, for almost a month, he surveyed the fans on this matter. Will they purchase the Justice League Blu-ray DVD release? I left out all who already purchased it digitally. This is left out given that there is no standard way of tracking digital sales. In his research, about 65% say they will not be buying it because they demand the Snyder Cut, whereas 33% state they will buy it and do not require a Snyder Cut. He also talked about the petition, where there's over 175,000 signatures to date wanting the Snyder Cut. It doesn't have to do anything with the documentary, but wanting the Snyder Cut. And then so he actually looked into the matters of the copies of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Man of Steel to date has sold roughly 2.28 million DVDs, bringing in over $44 million. In addition, Man of Steel has sold roughly 3.26 million Blu-rays, bringing in over $68 million. Total units sold 5.5 million units. Total revenue $112 million. That's almost like an opening box office weekend. Batman v Superman, on the other hand, sold roughly 1.16 million DVDs, bringing in over 21.6 million total revenue. Batman v Superman has sold roughly 2.37 million Blu-rays, resulting in a total revenue of $55.5 million. Total units sold is 3.5 million units. Total revenue, $77 million. As you can see, it's been trending downwards. It's been trending downwards a lot. But then he kind of gets into the detail about maybe why that it's going down. So keep in mind, DVD sales are already dwindling. Therefore, the average expectation is probably too high. People are starting to buy digital. Even more than Blu-ray. He also gets into that imagine 65% of that gone. That means it will sell, Justice League will sell less than 1.6 million units total, plus its total revenue share will only be roughly 33 million. So it's going to be really like half of what, over half of what Batman v Superman is going to do. So that's all we can say. We don't really know for sure until later on. He's just speculating at this time. There is no holiday that it's being released on. It just dropped today. Not that anybody's going to be having an Easter stuffer, so like this guy says. So it's very interesting how good this movie is going to do on Blu-ray and DVD. Last Jedi came out on digital today. There's a whole slew of Blu-ray releases today as well. Nothing in the enormity as Justice League, but it's clearly seeing that it could be a downward trend. It's going to be probably half because of how people buy, and also because of a lot of people who dislike the movie and want the real cut, the one that Snyder actually did, not the Joss Whedon edited version of the theatrical release. So he also puts a little bit of hope in there that Snyder's been all over Vero dropping clues. Appear his legit cut of Justice League is on the horizon. It's just hope there. Not saying that anything of this will happen, but just keep your hopes up, and then hopefully one day something like that will come out. But he did say, he also went into the details about how the recent Justice League trailer, the Super Friends style marketing, turned a lot of fans off, and he posted some tweets here. And oh my God, I'm on here. I did not realize that. Huh? He posted my tweet about the Super Friends on here. Cool. Well, thanks. But yeah, so Warner Brothers will need to recuperate any possible expenses and save face by just releasing the Snyder Cut, as the notion of it costing millions to seeming less and less likely due to all the leaked footage and unused trailer footage they use for marketing. The fans are noticing this. They are not stupid. So that's his opinion. And I want to get into it a little bit. I want to get into this touchy subject because we're all Warner Brothers, DC fans per se, and we're all fans of this universe. But even amongst ourselves, there has been some heavy conversation about this. And the question is, should you buy the Justice League Blu-ray, the physical copy, the Blu-ray DVD? My answer is, that's up to you. Up to you. If you love the movie, go ahead and do it. If you don't love the movie, don't do it. So it's up to you. I want it to be, it's your option. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, unless you're really rooting out for something. You're waiting for something. I personally got the digital copy because my kids love it, and my kid in me enjoys it as well. But I know it's not the right movie for the Snyder trilogy. I have the physical copies of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and I will not get the Justice League physical copy yet, or I'm waiting it out. I feel that Warner Brothers may be double dipping. Trying to recoup more of their loss by putting out a standard version to get some money for that, and then later on they'll release another cut. Is it extended? I don't know. Are they released a deleted scene separately? I don't know. I would rather have the Snyder Cut, and hopefully they do good by him and actually release that. I don't know. But see, the question is, a lot of people, I've seen two sides, and it is on Twitter too, is that one side says, don't buy the Blu-ray DVD cut. If you buy the Blu-ray DVD cut, you're telling Warner Brothers that this version of the movie is okay, and you're willing to spend money on this without having the other, right? You're in a way, you're boycotting the current version that is out there because it represents something that you do not want and you should not be putting money into. Okay, it's fine. And then I got the other side, and the other side says that, well, if you want that other cut, it's going to cost a little bit more money to do the effects for it, to finish with CGI, to get another version of it. And you should buy this copy so that that could fund a potential new extended version, new Snyder Cut version, a new cut, other aspects of it, so that you can get an actual cut that you want, because Warner Brothers needs to make money from somewhere. They need money to do that. That's also plausible. That's also could be also right. But then you go back to the other side and they say, well, if they had released the cut in the first place, then we're definitely going to buy it, because it is the ultimate cut and that's the one we want. So why waste your money and make this standard version go out to go out to the stores, and the ones that we're not going to actually buy. And then go back to this side, they argue back and say, well, I told you, you need to support them. You need to do that, because the ultimate cut, the effects is not finished. They don't have the money to do it. The theatrical version didn't make enough money in the theaters. It made 600 something plus, over $300+ million, with another double that would be in marketing expenses. So they need to find money somewhere. So all viable questions, all viable reasons why to buy and not to buy the current Justice League version that's in physical copy, the physical copy right now. Very viable reasons, and it really all depends on what Warner Brothers is actually thinking. Right? I mean, it all depends on that. We don't know, right? They could be really thinking about, man, we didn't make enough money in the theatrical version, in the theaters. We need to recoup somehow, so let's just throw this one out there, see if anybody buys from that, and we'll use that to make a cut. Or they won't do it at all. They are not even going to do a thing. They're not going to release a Snyder Cut. They weren't even thinking about that. They've already cut their losses. And this is the version you're going to get. And thanks for your money. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye. See you later. That is the extreme, oh my God, if they're doing that, I'm going to be so pissed. But that is also another reason they're not doing that, right? That they're not doing that. The other, and that's one of the reasons why this side won't buy the cut, because they're saying, well, if you're going to be a douche and do that and totally disregard the hardcore Zack Snyder fans who love the current DC Extended Universe, don't want anything to do with your new DC Extended Universe, the 175,000 people, allegedly, hopefully they're all right signatures, that they want the Snyder Cut, and you're not going to give it to them, so we're going to boycott that. So, and the Warner Brothers may look at that and say, you know what, we've got some money left, or let's release it. Let's do what we can and release the cut in whatever shape or form it is. It's probably unfinished or whatever. We can just cut it up. We can just put it in deleted scenes. Here you go, fans. You wanted it. Here you go. So that could happen as well. But the other side, if you do buy it, they look at it, they recoup their money, and they're like, we have enough money to finish the effects. Let's do it. Let's put together ultimate cut and bring it out. I want to believe that regardless of how much money this physical copy made, is that they have already planned this along the line. Being Hollywood, being Warner Brothers, and what they're going to do with it and other movies that they've had director's cut versions released a little bit later, is that they are just double dipping. They have it in their cards, and I just kind of look at it, because you look at the behind the scenes and everything, and you look at what they're doing with that, and you see scenes that were cut out, they're promoting it, and they're showing 0 deleted scenes. This is a different situation than, say, Wonder Woman Patty Jenkins, where Patty Jenkins says, I barely deleted anything, right? I didn't delete anything, so what you got is what I shot. And you look at Zack Snyder's version, and you know there's something up, right? You know, they know, we know, every single comment that's behind an, Justice League promotional trailers about hashtag release the Snyder Cut. So they have to know, unless they're turning a blind eye, that they know that there's more. So that's why they only release a little 2 bonus scenes to get you to buy this physical copy, and then later on they'll release the whole thing, right? That's what I want to believe. That's what I'm hoping for. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, and I want to have a conversation about that a little bit, because it is a very, I don't say sticky situation, but it's a very head scratching. This could be, like I said, down the rabbit hole, and it's just completely dark, and we're just gonna, this is all we're gonna get, and this is all we're gonna look for. And if you don't like it, too bad. Get out of here. We're going to continue making DC Universe movies and not acknowledging the Zack Snyder Cut. I hope it's not like that. But judging from these larger studios' sake, I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, look at what David Ayer's Suicide Squad, right? That we know has been fixed. That we know has been edited. Parts of that movie just didn't feel like Ayer. Even though he shot it, he didn't edit it. Trailer Park came in and edited it to make it more alongside of the trailer. That first teaser trailer of Suicide Squad, that was supposed to be the tone of the movie. And then he came in and reshot things. This is more extreme because another director came in and reshot the same scenes in a different way. So I don't know, it's hard to tell what's going to happen. I mean, look at Rogue One, right? They didn't release the Gareth Edwards cut, although nobody has been really, petitioning for it, right? They had not many people have been very outspoken about that. There's another Rogue One cut about it, right? So this is so much different. What's happening now is such a different situation, and we just gotta wait and see if Warner Brothers listens or not, if what they're gonna do. And I believe something's coming in some type of announcement. Something has to be said. I believe that after the physical copy, maybe a month or two or however long it takes, that there's going to be some kind of word about what's going to happen next. Either there's going to be another cut or not, most likely before Aquaman ever shows up. And I'm hoping that by WonderCon, March 24th, there will be something about whether we're going to get another cut of Justice League or not. And I don't know. I really don't know. But that is what the conversation is right now. And I just wanted to say that, don't be embarrassed if you go and buy Justice League movie. If you want to buy the Justice League movie, go buy the Justice League movie. If you're one of those who believe that by boycotting this Justice League movie, there might be something special later on, and you're gonna wait for it. That's fine too. You can go ahead and boycott that and boycott the movie. If you're like me, who believe there's something else coming in terms of physical copy, and you just want to get the digital copy, do that. That's fine. That's fine. Or if you're like some people who want to buy every single physical copy, in hopes that Warner Brothers makes the money enough to get another cut, possibly, then do that as well. That's your opinion, that's your decision, and I'm not going to be here to tell you otherwise. But I just want to tell you all the conversations been happening about should you buy the Justice League physical copy, and it gets a little bit aggressive, and it gets a little bit out of hand. So I just want to tell people to calm down a little bit, let people make their own decisions, and if you make a decision, don't be ashamed in making those decisions. So that's all I want to say. All right, guys, what do you think about it? I mean, comment down below. I know it's going to be pretty crazy in the comments, and it has been pretty crazy in the comments lately, and I mean, that's just how on every DC channel. I mean, I seen stuff on Film Gobs and Film Junkies. They're kind of like, wow, wow. But anyway, what do you guys think about the Justice League cut? Are you gonna buy it? Are you not? and the reasons. Do you think there's going to be a Snyder Cut on the way now that the actual standard theatrical version is released? Do you think Warner Brothers actually has another copy in their cards later down the line? Alright guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.